I'm Bryan Harrison. I'm the publisher of Mountain House Matters. You are at the Mountain House Matters hosted City Council discussion event. Tonight we have our 8 candidates who will fill the seats for 4 seats on the City Council for the new city of Mountain House. Okay, let's do that. We'll start with President Matt Disco of the current Mountain House Community Services District Board of Directors. Ready, begin.
Hey, good evening. My name is Matt Disco. I am a 5-year resident of Mountain House, Southern California native, 7th generation Californian from 1777 when the Yorbas came over from Spain and discovered San Francisco for the Queen. Reason I'm running for City Council is I would like to maintain my position as a voice of the community. I'm a local business owner. I have 2 successful businesses that operate in and only in Mountain House 95391, including Mountain House Events, which formulated in 2021, and Mountain House Handyman, also known as mattdisco.com. As of today, I'm pleased to announce that I have spent the past year preparing and formulating Mountain House Chamber of Commerce, which has been submitted for designation as a 501c6, and whether I maintain this position or not, the City of Mountain House will still win in its economic development. I will advocate for the generation of new business places for businesses to start and sell and pay taxes. I don't have any promises of how that's going to happen or what developers will do to make that happen, but that is something I'm going to strongly advocate for, as well as supporting all the at-home businesses that operate in Mountain House, to network those businesses, to promote those businesses so that all of these businesses thrive and continue to grow here in Mountain House and contribute to our taxes so that we never have to raise property taxes or special taxes. Whether that's achievable, only the future will tell. That is my dream and goal for being on the City Council, having an inside voice, and continuing to be available for residents as I am now, 24 hours a day by phone, social media, email, and anyone who's reached out to me can attest to the fact that I do respond, I do follow up, and I do maintain relationships with my neighbors. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sadia Khan. I am a mom of 3 kids and I live in Cuesta for the last 7 years. I'm originally from Canada, and I worked in HR for 10 years at Walmart Canada, and then I came to the US and just focused on the kids and, raising them and just things like that. I am also running for City Council because I am very interested in the future of my kids and the kids of Mountain House. I want them to get a city that keeps them safe and nurtures them and also gives them the opportunities so they don't have to go anywhere else. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ronna Green. I have been a resident of Mountain House since I bought my home in 2005, moved in 2006. I raised my youngest son here, my grandkids. Actually, we're first generation high school, Bethany, elementary. And while raising kids, grandkids, I own my own business. I've had it in Fremont for 34 years. Now I have the time to dedicate to Mountain House. Not that I haven't dedicated time to Mountain House before, but you might not have ever seen me, and you probably won't because I'm not an in front of the camera type person. But one of the things that I was most proud of is helping the 2020 Unity March, helping put that together in 2020, the Unity March for the George Floyd event. And when I did that event, it really made me realize how much more I needed to be, and I know that's not right, how much more for English teachers, but that I needed to focus my attentions for my community. I have a nonprofit that I've had since 2006, which is a girls mentoring program that we run through our salon in Fremont, California. Like I said, I have 3 kids, 2 on earth, 1 in heaven. I have 4 grandkids. I love Mountain House, and I want to continue to see Mountain House develop into the city it was designed to be when we're ready.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Suresh Veeru, born into a farming family with a tradition of addressing community issues. Throughout my upbringing, I observed various ways to tackle public concerns, leading me to naturally integrate into social service as a way of life. Beyond my commitment to social service, I actively engaging in the farming in the Mountain House, imparting to my children the significance of our family roots and the value of agriculture. I relocated to Mountain House in 2020. Currently, my children goes to Tracy College and then Mountain House High School. I have a flexible work schedule and my wife is taking care of the kids. I'm actively engaged in contributing in the enhancement and continual improvement of our community. Before moving to Mountain House, I spent over 20 years in the South Bay. I have passion of bringing communities together through events like Halloween, July 4th, August 15th, and a lot of sports tournaments. It's fulfilling to note that 2 team members I worked with are now actively serving community, as one person as a regional community president and another one is as a Mountain House Cricket Association founder. I established Mountain House Sports and Recreation nonprofit organization. I persist in organizing similar events and serving the broader community amid the pandemic. When the house sales were sluggish, I made substantial efforts providing referrals for approximately 30 home owners. I have also assisted small businesses, spiritual centers, and any who approaches me while volunteering for various MSCSD, Rotary, and school events. Often this includes late nights or early morning commitments. Additionally, I have reached out needy families to lend a helping hand in this community. Attending CSD board meeting, community gatherings or budget sessions and training sessions is a regular part of my routine. I strive to represent the community's best interest by being self-motivated, committed, and consistently involved in Mountain House affairs. In the last 4 years, I have demonstrated my dedication by allocating for the community, addressing issues, and leading board policies and procedures as a resident. Here I am. Thank you.
My name's Dan Harrison. I'm a resident of Mountain House in Cuesta Village since 2011. Married to my beautiful wife, Carol. We have 2 adult children, and we have 4 grandchildren, and then of course my 2 dogs, old English bulldoggies, who we consider our kids, and that's Lugnut and Panda. So I had to make sure I mentioned them. I spent 39 years in law enforcement. I recently retired as a deputy chief of police. I've also served on the board before 2016 to 2011. I was vice president in 2017 and president in 2019. My decision to run for the city council is that we, the taxpayers and citizens, we deserve a change as we embark in a new city. Okay, I'm very aware of our diverse community and their needs. Public safety is my number one. Okay, so I'm just letting people out know, and obviously zoning and economic. We need the council members who have the experience and knowledge and responsibility to be able to set policy, capital improvements, and bringing services and revenue to our city and continue to be efficient and more effective. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bernice King Tingle, and I have faithfully served on the board of directors since 2008. I moved to Mountain House in 2003, early on when there was probably anywhere from 150 to 200 residents, so I am a pioneer. And I moved to Mountain House basically because my belief in the high quality community vision, master plan. And it was my desire to continue to serve so we could make that vision our reality. Now, knowing that things change along the way and things need tweaking along the way, we need to find out and keep our hand on the pulse of what you, the community, wants moving forward. But basically, unless the community has decided that we want to nix that master plan, I'm for it. That's one of the reasons I moved here. My consistent goals are budget management, development of strategic plans. I'm considered a team player. No matter what anybody says, I'm a team player.
Override the team.
I'm dedicated to purpose and plans, and I believe my institutional knowledge. I am CSD board certified, and I believe that this will help me to continue to serve because I enjoy service. No matter what, I enjoy serving people. It's not about me, it's about service. My main objective is to ensure a balance between the community vision, the budget, the community's priorities. So we have to keep our hands on the pulse to find out what your priorities are and layer them into our structures. I have 27 years of project management experience with Pacific Bell, and I have 15 years of faithful service on this board, down to 15 years of faithful service. I probably only missed 4 or 5 board meetings, and you can fact check me. Just 1 second. I serve on the Youth Action Committee as chair, and that's where my passion is. I have a daughter, no grandkids, and the reason why I really enjoy working with the youth, because your kids are my grandkids. I'll stop there.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My motto today is your city, your council, and, your city, your council, and our future. So my name is Tejdeep Singh Ratan. I'm a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Armed Forces. I've been serving in the Army for the last 17 years, 8 years inactive, and rest in the reserves. Currently, I'm stationed at Fort Hunter Leggett. That's where we do a whole bunch of exercises for sustainment units, medical sustainment units, where we bring them and make them deployable. We've been living, my wife and I, and our 2 beautiful kids, we've been living here in Mountain House for the last 7 years now. And it's a joy living over here. The city is very planned. It's still in the process of making. There's a lot which needs to be done, or at least we can tweak it to that point. I'm a dentist, entrepreneur, a biomedical engineer, have an MBA, and always been interested in public service. I believe by doing so, I satisfy my faith-based values and my civic duties. My campaign commitments for this campaign would be ethical and transparent leadership, for good fiscal accountability. That's number 1. Number 2 is safety and security for our community. Sheriff, the contractors, they will be held on high standards. Zoning commitment is another thing we are going to be getting along with the rest of the 18 powers. I believe we have to make the right decision the first time around. We do not want over and under zoning. I want to be an advocate for healthcare-based opportunities and community-based for community centers for senior citizens. And I would like to network with the cities and the and the counties to make things happen. Over. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Wahid Mir, and I'm so happy to be here today with you all. A software engineer by trade, I've been here in Bethany living for the last 13 years. Now that we have more time, I would expand on my family. My wife, 3 daughters, and 4 cats, which I'm very happy about. 2 cats just moved into our family very recently, so I'm happy that our cat family has increased. I have actively engaged myself volunteering in education as an educator with various nonprofit organizations since more than 2 decades. and I continue to do so. I proudly have served locally in Mountain House with the Mountain House Cricket Club. Now I'm running as a council member, and why I'm running as a council member is the passion I have of being part of the change, the historical change that we are about to embark on. And I'm very excited to be part of this change. As a council member, what I want to focus on is the improvement in the infrastructure for sports infrastructure, animal welfare, and supporting economic development, and minimizing the pain points for our commuters. And Director Tingle has already a lot of contribution towards the Valley Link in that case. And this is something that I am going to be focused on. And now what I have to deliver. I have the skill sets, necessary skill sets, and the proven qualification to deliver on the goods by building partnerships and reaching across the cultural boundaries. Thank you.
I just have to say, we've got 4 seats to fill, and I think however this all plays out, Mountain House is going to be in good hands. So appreciate you guys. We have a series of questions we're going to go for here, and I'd like to introduce my cohorts in, not crime. That doesn't sound right. Huh? In education, thank you. Cohorts in education. My good friend Raj Singh, who's been a Bethany resident since 2005, right? And Paulam Chang, who runs the Macaroni Kids website and has been here for a while. 8 years? Yeah. We will trade off who's asking questions, and like I said earlier, most of the questions will be directed at 2 of you at a time, and you'll each get 2 minutes to respond, and then if someone else needs to say something, just raise your hand and we'll have 1 or 2 of you do that for a minute at a time. All sound good? We're going to start with Paulam.
Welcome, and thank you all of you for your time tonight. So I will start with the questions about Measure D. For March 5th ballot. I assume that all of you are in favor of Measure D, but if for some reason you are not, the voters would love to know why not. And if you are, we would love to hear from you, and this question is for all of you, around what are the benefits on becoming a city, and what is that one thing as well that we should be paying attention as we all embark as a new city? Thank you.
I'll keep this brief. So in regards to Measure D, there are some things that I have question about. I'm probably the newest resident on this table, so I won't take too much of your time. One thing that would be beneficial is for our local governance to be able to control zoning for all future development. So what people need to be aware of right now is the rezoning of industrial developments along Mountain House Parkway that are now being rezoned into high-density housing. Our high school is near capacity. We don't have any future land after Measure L to continue our growth for a new high school. There is no budget set for that to even be in question. We don't have any other schools planned aside from the new River District for elementary, yet we're about to increase beyond our master plan because this has been rushed into county approval through the planning department before we've incorporated. When all these years have come by and that land is sit empty, and suddenly there's an urgency to rush it through, and I believe it's been approved now, but we haven't discussed what we're going to do for our education system, because as of right now, schools are at capacity, and the only growth we have is the next the next school year, when Evelyn Costa goes from its current 450 capacity to 900. So where are all these kids going to go from the new apartments that have just completed phase 1 that are moving into phase 2, then the future of all these new houses coming in across the bridge to somewhere, think about that. This needs to be locally controlled so that these questions are asked. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I think I'm in favor of Mountain House becoming a city. I think it will be really good for our economic growth and the future of our families. And we will learn as we go, and we will make a difference. Thank you.
I agree with everything you said, Matt. I am very concerned at this point with us becoming a city. Can you hear me? Okay, with us becoming a city. You know, I often think about it and all the things that's been said and what we're going to do and the money coming in. And I understand that, you know, about the zoning and everything, but I keep coming back to the same question, and it's from a movie. And the line in the movie says, "Show me the money." Show me where the money is going to come from. And that's my concern. I've read a lot of reports about finances, and one of the reports I read was that we had enough money basically saved to support us for at least 4 to 5 years. My concern is, what are we going to do in year 6? Where's that money going to come from? I know we talk about economic development, bringing businesses to Mountain House. My question is, where are we going to put them? We do not have a lot of space for that. It's not that I'm against incorporating. I just need to understand for the future of myself. I'm at an age where I'll be retiring pretty soon. And I don't need my property taxes to be more expensive than my mortgage and my retirement, because that's how a lot of people end up losing their property. So for me, it has to make sense. And right now, it just doesn't make sense for me with the things that you said, and I'm adding those things also. Where's the money going to come from? And where's the retail development going to come from?
I'm fully supporting the Measure D. So primarily we're going to get the land use permit in our hands. Right now, basically the money is, you're asking, like, we have done the fiscal financial analysis by LAFCO and clearly said that we are a little bit surplus a little bit. Of course, in future we can increase it, or maybe we, based on the inflation, or we can charge from there. New residents or new businesses. Anyway, so coming back to the businesses, basically, yes, business licensing is going to be it's tough because the infrastructure, which is going to create a problem for the businesses. We need to attract the businesses based on maybe we need to offer the annexation fees later, or maybe putting into the yearly plan. That can be attracted more businesses. Another problem, fellow colleagues, I have heard about the traffic, the school size, right? So basically, we have a plan, Delta College is going to build more classrooms, which is used in the evening classes. Some of our high school classes we're going to move for the daytime into there. And then also LUSD has a 20 acres where we can build another extra classrooms, which is required. And then also they can plan for a charter high school within there. So that's not going to be a problem. But at the same time, basically people right now, due to viability issues for the businesses, people are applying for the residential zoning change. So if we are decided to give the residents, based on the traffic study, if we are going to decide to give the more residents, then we can increase the TIF, and then we can get the more income based on that. So that's what I would say. We don't have any financial problem. Our Measure D is going to help us a lot.
I'm also in support of the measure. It's going to bring us where we could control our zoning, which is our planning and our building and our land use, and then obviously too economic development. You got to remember when LAFCO approved us to go ahead and become a city, okay, part of that was built in with our special taxes, okay, and I know we've had board members and say, hey, you know what, I don't want to raise special taxes. I don't see the taxes going up, but we got to remember that if we always vote no on special taxes, at some point, the cow runs out of milk. Okay, and then what happens? It becomes sticker shock. So, and Tracy's going through that right now, where there was things that Tracy didn't approve for years, no taxes, and all of a sudden now they're going to the people and saying, hey, you know what, we got to raise that. We don't want to be in that predicament. We got to get it right, and we got to get it right from the start. So again, I'm a taxpayer too. Nobody likes any more taxes, but you got to remember part of that agreement, and that's why years ago when Mountain House was first formed, that was put into place by the County and Planning Commission. So again, I don't think they need to be raised at 4%, but again, maybe 1 or 2%. Again, we got to be sustainable, and so again, I definitely am for becoming a city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the primary question was, am I in support of Measure D or not? The short answer is that at this time, I'm not in support of Measure D. I'm in support of incorporation, but there's some things that are still mind-boggling, and that is the LAFCO report. It was based on us, we're having funds available now. However, it was also based on the fact that moving forward, we would have to do the 4% each on special taxes each year, and subject to go higher. And I also believe in transparency, and I don't think that type of information has gone clear. Now, one thing about if it's the will of the community that we incorporate, because I have skin in the game and I plan to be here, I would want to be part of the council that was strategically planned to work ourselves through this. One of the primary things that are boggling to me is that economic development. We do not have enough businesses, so at some point, we need to actively start working on how can we incentivize businesses to come to Mountain House and find out from all of you what type of businesses you're interested in. This is a joint effort to move us forward. But being part of a city and being incorporated, it is overall a good thing because you or we would have direct input on our economic development, how many houses we can build, who can come in, and that's control. We'll have in control of our own house. That portion is good, but I have to, in my mind, I want the house to be absolutely in order before we incorporate. I hope I answered that question.
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, all of those concerns, I believe, are going to be answered if we have a city. We have a seat on the table, okay? If we don't call our shots, if we don't take charge here, we're not going to be able to solve the problem. Somebody else is calling shots for us. I do not want homelessness over here, okay? That's one thing for sure. I want my kids to be safe here because I'm going to live here. Two more important things. Now, fund allocations, the budgets I have looked at, my God, I've spent hours looking at these things. The numbers are all over the place right now, right? So they look quite balanced to me. Do we need money? You know, we can ask for grants. There's a lot of grants available out there, for sure. We need more people to come over here from the Bay Area to buy these houses. We'll increase the property taxes over here. Planning and development is another thing we will have control over. We do not want, you know, a pizza place right next to a school where they're selling alcohol. That's a concern for a lot of people, right? So we can make sure that businesses are allocated where they need to go, for sure, right? Animal control is another thing. So we have control. We should take responsibility, and I say yes to cityhood. Over.
I would add to some more points that have been discussed so far. I don't want to go talking about the entire list, that besides the 18 powers that we have as a CSD, what other powers that we are getting as a city. I would not list them, but I wanted to focus on few comments that we heard so far. For example, incorporating Measure D is the only way we have at this point in time to adopt and then be incorporated. And the second, for example, apprehension or the concern is from would we have enough revenue to survive? For example, CFA analysis clearly tells us the positive fiscal year over year, what 14 million we have as the revenue and projected to go to 18, even though the OPEX cost is 85%. So still we have the leverage to continue this growth and define additional revenue streams. For example, by adopting this Measure D and becoming incorporated, only then we get power to have this economic development. For example, incentivizing, giving any tax breaks, for example, to any business organization. That's the only way. So if we do not vote for it, then we do not have that power to begin with. So that is what I want to mention about these comments. Now, in addition to this, we also know that we will have additional revenue from share of Measure K, which is the gas tax, the sales tax, that we will be benefited from this revenue. Apart from, now I will add to, for example, we will have land use, power of land. We will define our destiny, how our land needs to be used. The zoning, the building safety codes, code enforcement, traffic control, animal control, and so on and so forth. These are the additional benefits that we will get. And one more point that I will, maybe we get a chance to talk about, what are the apprehensions that if Measure D does not pass, would we ever get a chance again or not? We'll talk about that.
Yep. Very nice.